Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. I wanted to share an experience that I've had with a no start problem. It's happened to me twice in the last month and what I did to resolve the situation. What happened the first time was that I was at a gas station. I was filling up some containers for my lawnmowers and got back in the vehicle. The starter would turn over, but the engine would not run. And there was so much ambient noise, there was so much road noise at the gas station, I couldn't tell what was working, what wasn't, buzzers or anything like that. After about 2 or 3 hours of just fooling with stuff, it miraculously ran. And those are the kinds of situations that really make me nervous because you don't know what you did to make it work. And I'd even gone in and I'd swapped the fuel pump relays over here in this box on the side firewall. Fast forward a couple of weeks, I was camping and got in the vehicle. Same situation. Starter would turn over, the engine wouldn't run. This time I could tell that the fuel pump was not coming on when I had the ignition on. I have a jumper wire and I connected one end of it to the positive post on the pump and the other end to the positive post on the starting battery and verified that the fuel pump was indeed working just like it should. It just wasn't getting any kind of electrical current coming from the rest of the van. I have a test light and I tested the battery, the starting battery, and got a good signal on that. And I came back here to the alternator, and I don't know if you know this, great. If not, hopefully this helps somebody out. But that post right there on the back of an alternator should stay hot all the time. Hot meaning that it's got power to it. And when I touched my test light to it, I wasn't getting anything on it. Tried multiple ground points thinking, all right, well, maybe I've just got a poor ground, and that wasn't the case. Started fidgeting around with the, this is the original OEM wiring here in this little harness, and I don't know if the connection was loose or if it was something else, but then I finally got a test light to work, and when I did, I went in, turned the ignition on, engine ran just fine. It was a bit erratic though. I've got a voltmeter on the dash, and the voltmeter was going anywhere between 12.7 all the way up to like 13.8. And that's not a voltmeter that's on the starting battery. That's a voltmeter that's on the auxiliary battery, which is getting a charge from the starting battery using that Blue Seas ACR isolator. When I got back home, I started checking a couple of things, and there were some suggestions about it could be an issue with the alternator wire, and especially after what I had experienced here. So what I did was that I went on Van Cafe. I had a couple of parts I needed to order anyway for some maintenance, and I picked up this cable. Basically, it's an 8-gauge wire. It's got the adhesive shrink wraps with lug type connectors on it. It's a real simple install. Now, when you install it, you want to make sure that the negative battery cable on the starting battery is disconnected. You don't want any kind of power coming through the system while you're doing this. Basically, what you do is that you take a wrench and undo that nut, and then put one end of the cable onto the post as well as your original OEM stuff here. And then same thing for your starter. So where the positive battery cable comes in onto the starter, you disconnect that nut and you put the other end of this wire on it and cinch it all back up. Not only did this resolve my problem with the no start, because here's the situation. This wiring, it comes from the starter to the alternator. And the other thing is that this feeds your fuel injection. So there's a line that goes there on the back of the firewall to that black box, and so there's a positive wire over there. Well, it solved the problem with the no start issue, and it also solved the issue with the erratic voltage I was getting on the voltmeter on the auxiliary battery. So now every time that I crank the engine, I'm consistently getting about 14 to 14.1 volts, and that's right where I want it to be. So if you're having a situation, I'm not saying that this is the be-all and end-all for no start fuel pump issues, but it's something that you can certainly test out. Relatively simple. So if you've swapped your fuel pump regulators in that box and you're still not getting anything on there, and you've tested your pump and made sure that it's functioning, then it very well may be this wiring. Again, this was from Van Cafe, what I got here. You can also get a brand new alternator wiring harness, which includes the blue wire as well as these, I believe from Westy. So one of those two options may be in your future if you're having these kind of issues. So anyway, that's it for now. Hopefully this helps somebody out there. As always, thank you for watching.